Can you talk a little bit more about microfinance and why that's a key here
Mm.
to everything you're doing?
Mhm. Yeah, I think what we see and what we learned is that people are already paying for water. And so if we could get them more affordable access, instead of going to a loan shark, for instance, and paying 150% interest, which is what we were seeing in some cases, let's help them get access to a small loan so that they can get those improvements. The problem with microfinance was when we tried to bend microfinance towards water and sanitation, we kind of got the door slammed in our face because they're like, no, we make loans for income generating assets like a sewing machine or a cow, where that loan creates a cash flow by the end of the week. If you have a sewing machine, you're sewing clothes and selling them. And what they said, these loans would be way too risky for us. And so what we did is basically say, okay, we will give you some grant funding to help de-risk this, so you can do market research to see if the demand is there, to see how people would repay the loans, to look at different water and sanitation products that you might work with in order to get these loans out there and having impact. And then that was our breakthrough. Once these microfinance institutions then saw, oh, this is an income enhancing loan. That woman who now doesn't have to walk 3 hours for water, it has a job and she's repaying the loan. So that was the breakthrough that's now allowed us to have this network of partners around the world, and $3.5 billion in loans and counting.
But the key insight, and Gary's always modest
Mm.
about this, the key insight was Gary's, and it was that these people were already paying for water, and in many cases 10, 15 times more than the middle class was paying, or the people in the fancy hotels. And they just didn't have any savings. They couldn't front the $300 for a water connection. The utility was piping water right under their feet, and they couldn't get access to it. Instead, they had to overpay for poor quality water, or take time and go, stand at a community tap or go find water somewhere else. And take time either away from a job, or in the case of younger girls, away from school. And the impacts of that are, obviously horrific. So it was that insight, and then pulling the MFI partners along and convincing them that these loans could and would be paid back. And it was a hypothesis that, when I met Gary, and now it's, 99, they pay back at over 99%. So 43.7 million people later, I think his hypothesis has been proved.